Merry Christmas, and on this very special episode, I have our national flower and our representative to Drag Race Thailand, Vanda Miss Joaquim. And so, to introduce her, educate yourself, she's about to bloom, Drag Race Thailand, here comes the boom!
Hello everybody! Good morning!
Thank you so much, Vanda, for coming on my channel.
Thank you, feel very honored. Finally!
Alright, so today we're gonna do a very special theme. We're gonna do a Pop Diva Christmas. And if that's something you want to see, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and ring that bell for post notifications. Alright, so we'll be right back.
Bye!
Bye. So Vanda, thank you so much for coming on my channel. You actually made a small little cameo on my channel before, remember? We're all masked up and everything, so now we can see your beautiful face.
Thank you. Beautiful. You're too kind. Thank you.
Okay, so we're just going to start off and get into our Pop Diva Christmas makeup. I'll let you know who I do at the end, okay? It's going to be a surprise.
Okay. Alright. This is my own interpretation of a pop diva, so don't expect too much.
Basically, before we get started, I think a very important question we all should ask each other is, how do you identify and what are your pronouns?
Oh, wow. You can call me whatever. Okay, to be honest, like, I really don't care about all these pronouns. Like, you can call me he, you can call me she, you can call me it. I know some people, you know, take it very, serious about all these pronouns, but for me, you know, I can just like use he, she, whatever you prefer.
Yeah, I think that's what RuPaul says also, right? You can call me he, she, Regis, or Kathy Lee, right? You do, for drag queens, I think we're really quite fluid and really we don't really care much about pronouns. But there are some people who are very, you know, it really means a lot to them. So I think it's a conversation we need to normalize.
Yeah, so that's on them. Like for me, I just call me whatever.
I mean, I've always wanted you on my channel, but I think the real thing that really kicked me into getting you on the channel was listening to you speak on the podcast Drag Her, one of my favorite podcasts discussing Drag Race.
Yes. I heard podcasts are taking over like videos and whatnot now. So yeah, like I started listening to podcasts nowadays as well. So
yeah, me too. I listen to so many podcasts, and especially now during all this lockdown, a lot of drag queens are starting their own YouTube channels and podcasts and everything. So there's so much content out there; it's really hard to keep up.
I mean, it's educational as well, right? Especially during circuit breaker, remember? You're very like bored and stuff like that. You just get in drag. So while getting in drag, you just listen to podcasts and whatnot. So
I know you've probably talked about this on many different podcasts before, but why did you start drag?
Well, I already started performing when I was young. So I was exposed to drag in Taboo back in 2008, I think. And I really didn't know what drag was. I thought it was just like, you know, guys dressing up as girls and that's it. And they're lip syncing. But there's more to it, you know, there's more work put into the art of drag. And there's something about the persona of drag that I find very like fascinating about, you know, like I think Jada, you know Jada.
Yep, your distant cousin.
Yeah, my distant cousin because you know. So that was my first drag performance that I watched, and I thought that it was like very fascinating, incredible, amazing. And I thought, you know, like with my dance skills, I can incorporate that into my drag as well. I want to like incorporate my singing talent into my drag as well. So yeah, it's like instead of just doing dance, like, you know, with drag you can actually do a lot of things. It's like a performance artist, right? You have to be versatile.
Yeah. That's what Ashley 50 said on her interview. So you can really take in whatever skills you have, you can apply to whatever drag you want to do, right? So for me, I'm like this theatre queen. I can do all the theatre stuff I want. You have other people who are like artists or makeup artists. They have all sorts of different things you can do in drag. And that's what makes drag so diverse and so exciting.
Yeah. That's right, and I know that you're a musical queen.
Oh yeah, huge musical queen.
You love your musical.
Yeah,
we got quite a few musical queens. Like I know Aria is into musicals.
Oh yeah. We geeked out a little bit about musicals during our chat.
I saw the one that you did with Ashley 50.
Yeah, and of course your daughter Farrah was the first one I interviewed.
Farrah Shamrock as well. Yeah. She did the Medusa look.
Yeah.
So what's your inspiration for today?
My inspiration for today is actually you. It's actually
no.
You'll find out at the end.
Alright.
People would have seen it in the thumbnail already, but I want to surprise you at the end.
Okay. I'm here for it.
This is short film online about you, done by Melvin Tseng. Mm-hmm. Is this the same Melvin Tseng who's doing all these amazing makeup looks online?
That's right.
Oh my god!
He's the same person, yeah.
I just realized he's a really good makeup artist too.
Back then, when he was doing the interview with me, like I don't think he started drag yet. He haven't, did any drag. After the interview, he actually sent me a photo.
Oh, cool.
He actually sent me a photo of him in drag and his partner because.
Wow! So you were like the inspiration.
No lah, not really lah.
I'll link up the link for the video down below. But in the video, it sounded like you had quite a traumatic coming out story.
Oh, the Berita Harian?
Yeah.
You mean the newspaper?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So that article was shit. Because the one that interviewed us, he actually told us, he's trying to make an awareness in the community, in the Malay community, to actually understand about our lifestyle and whatnot. But he twists and turned the whole story and put it on paper, and it wasn't good. Like,
oh no,
it was crazy. I remember some of us, I think most of us were crying.
Crying? Oh
after
dear.
the article came out, and because we're not out to our parents yet, right? And it was on a Sunday paper, so it's like, most parents, like most Malay parents, usually get the Berita Harian like Sunday, having a coffee in the morning with their newspaper in hand.
You mean he didn't give you guys a heads up or anything before publishing the article?
The story that he put on the paper wasn't, it wasn't portrayed in a good way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Mm.
Yeah. And ever since that episode, ever since that whole incident, I was very careful with whoever that wants to interview me. Because it's your life story that you want to put out to the world, right? So you have to be careful, with the people that you agree.
Anyone can twist your words and portray you however you like. I mean, that's exactly what Drag Race is about, right? If you go on and they can edit you to be anything.
The villain and whatnot, yeah.
What do you think about your edit on Drag Race? I think you got a pretty amazing edit.
Yeah, I thought it was a good run. I think in the very beginning, the first few episodes, for international queens, we didn't really get the exposure, a lot of airtime.
Mm-hmm.
If you realize, we only got a lot of airtime near episode 5, episode 6, where the international queens start getting eliminated and whatnot.
Do you think they didn't expect you guys to do so well?
I think so. You go to a foreign country and you join the competition. Of course, they want to get rid of you first, right? But you can't run away from the fact that if you're good, you're good. They can't eliminate you if you're good. So,
how did you prepare for Drag Race? How long did you have to prepare?
Oh my god, thinking about it, it's super tiring. I remember we auditioned back in October, I think. I have about 2-3 weeks to prepare for the competition. I was financially tight with money, and I tried to get sponsors for my flight and whatnot. So I was asking around in the community. I was asking the backstage manager. Rima S helped me a lot with flights.
Oh wow.
And yeah, I'm really grateful and thankful for that, because that really helped me a lot. Some of my friends actually chipped in, with hotel and whatnot. But after filming one episode, I'll come back to Singapore and work in Tantric, and then after that, on Sunday, I'll fly back to Thailand. So it was a really crazy journey.
On the Drag Her podcast, both you and Jeannie said that you guys had to pay all that yourself. Did they say they were going to reimburse you?
No.
Wow, that's tough.
We have to pay for our own flights, and you know how expensive, right? If you have excessive luggage and whatnot, for extra weight allowance. It was a tough time, because this is one advice to the queens out there who actually want to join, who dream of joining Drag Race Thailand or RuPaul's Drag Race or whatnot. You have to be financially stable. You have to be mentally prepared, physically prepared, emotionally prepared, because it's quite a ride.
Maybe it's just Drag Race Thailand, because in America it seems like they take care of the queens very, very well, right? They get a hotel, they get fed. Yeah.
Yeah, I that's what I heard too, because I don't know, like Drag Race Thailand I think was more difficult because it's not our language, and also like for food wise I remember like I have to always ask for like, you know, no pork, so I was just basically eating like rice and egg. I lost a lot of weight during that filming. Yeah, but it was worth it. It was worth it.
How do you think your life has changed after Drag Race? You can be honest. You can be like totally honest.
Yeah. Always. Like, you know, I get to meet a lot of people from all parts of the world. I think one thing that I benefit from entering the show is how people can recognize my talent, and the support and love that I got from them. It's totally amazing. And also, like, you get the exposure, that you crave for, the fame. Yeah, I've always wanted to be famous. So yeah, I got what I want. But it's interesting lah, because being on the show also you get to tell your story, right?
You get to represent Singapore.
Yeah, you were there in DragCon, I remember.
Yes, I saw you in DragCon. I'm so excited to see you in DragCon. So proud to see you do your traditional dance on the stage, on the DragCon stage, and people going crazy for you.
No lah, I remember it wasn't that crazy on the first day, the day that I performed. Like after the performance, everybody was just like.
But you know, the whole thing about this Drag Race Thailand, even until Drag Her started talking about it, people gloss over it all the time. I just think it's just ignored by the fandom.
You know, like Drag Race Thailand is on Wow Presents and whatnot, but I still feel that it's still very underrated. It can get like more exposure, more recognition, because not being biased or what, like if I'm not on the show, like I feel Drag Race Thailand has more character, it's more real.
No, you're not being biased at all. It's completely true. I think it's completely true. And that's exactly what Mano said, right, on the show. It's like his top 3. I think it's his favorite season. And I think it's just racism that people don't watch it.
Yeah. Like how some of the RuPaul's Drag Race queens, they were saying that, oh, because it's another language. But, I mean, why are you lying? You watch Drag Race Holland, which is not your language as well. So.
You watch Drag Race Holland, they watch The Switch, which is in Spanish. Queen of Drags, which is in German, right?
Why? What's up with you guys, like having, you know, like against Asians? Like you guys have something against Asians?
Even the next season of RuPaul's Drag Race UK, not a single Asian queen.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, season 2. There's no Asian queens. So the Asian queens currently are really the token. You know, they can't find one. It's too bad. I really hope you get to go on international All Stars.
Oh my god, it'll be a dream come true, babe. Oh my god. Like, I am also grateful, like, people like Yu Hua got me on her Bootleg Opinions on YouTube.
She's like one of the more famous Asian queens, and I'm such a huge fan of her too. Yeah.
Yeah, because during the, it was during the DragCon, like in New York, we were in the backstage, and yeah, we're just like having a good time, laughing and whatnot, and she's like, do you want to be on my show on YouTube? For Bootleg Opinions. I'm like, yeah, why not? And then next day I was at her house and she was ordering some shrimp dumplings for me, and yeah.
The first time was you and someone else, right? Yu Hua and...
No, it was Angeli.
Oh, Angeli. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Angeli Anang. What are you doing now, Ice, is it?
Doing my eyebrows.
Ah. Lovely.
Today my look is green and gold.
Such a good combination. I love green and gold.
Going back to this whole Drag Race thing, and then of course you mentioned your distant cousin, your makeover episode, you got Jada to come on, right?
Yep, that's right.
Yeah. So was Jada your like drag mom or something?
Yeah, Jada is my drag mother. So like I said, you know, she's the first drag queen I watched in the club. And then I think we got much... She actually also gave me my first club show as a drag queen. Yeah, she started grooming me, and she lectured me about always wearing the same costume again and again, and she's got a lot of advice. I'm very thankful for that.
Yeah, I thought it was a little bit unfair because when you came on the stage, she did this split right on the main stage.
Oh yeah, I mean at her
age. Did they?
Like, wow.
Huh?
Yeah, I was very impressed by that too. Benjana was actually saying that because in the episode I had to lip sync, right? So she was saying that Jada actually did have more character, more stage presence than I do on that runway.
She stole the show. I mean, she did that split.
Yeah, she did. I was like, okay, mama.
The other thing I wanted to talk to you about is, of course, your very, very amazing House of Miss Joaquim.
Yes, House of Miss Joaquim.
Jeannie said that your goal was always to be a very good house mother. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I mean, I want to break the stigma because when I started House of Miss Joaquim, there were a lot of people were saying that, oh, why did I open up a drag house? Because, you know, I don't house them. Like, I don't provide them with accommodation and whatnot.
That's so dumb.
Please educate yourself. The reason why I started House of Miss Joaquim is because, you know, I want to have my own legacy. I want to have my girls that whatever skills I have, I want to pass to them. And if you realize there were quite a few drag competitions that was going on back then. Mm-hmm. And it's always like after the competition and that's like you do some shows here and then that's the end of your career. And I saw a lot of potential in some of the girls and that's why I took them into my house and, you know, like groom them and get them like platform, more exposure, more recognition. And, you know, it's better if it's in a bigger group, right? You know, especially if you do
strength in numbers.
Yeah, big production and whatsoever. So yeah.
If you got to the final 3, you would have brought your whole house with you.
Yes.
That was such a waste. That would have been so amazing to see.
Yeah. Yeah lah. Some people are just very stupid. But yeah, that was actually my plan, like, you know, to put my girls on stage with me and I think it'd be like a great performance and not just like backup dancers and whatnot. No.
Okay, I mean, honestly, in all honesty, did you think you would have made final 3?
Yeah, I mean, I worked so hard in that competition.
Yeah, I mean, for that final lip sync also, you were obviously the winner. Okay, so I think it was really quite shady that the 2 comeback queens were actually in the top 3. That was quite I thought it was so shady.
Well, I've come to peace with it. Like, you know, I can't whine about it anymore. But
yeah,
I feel it's pretty unfair lah. Like they suddenly they secure their spot, you know, like in the finale. Whereas for me, like you give me a Thai song and I have to learn it in 4 hours and I did it, but still I didn't get to be in the top 3 or I win that challenge in that episode. So yeah, I was pretty mad, but yeah.
I think we have to see it for what it is. I mean, I don't think they would have tolerated putting a foreign queen in the top 3. It was always going to be Thai queens.
Yeah, I don't think they want to have international queen as well because if you were to watch the finale of Drag Race Thailand, it's very Thai culture influence, like a lot of Thai elements into it. So, but I mean, why underestimate international queen? Don't you think I can bring a Thai element into my act too?
Yeah, that's something I always wanted to ask you. You and your girls, do you have sort of like instructions for them whenever they do performances? Because I noticed every time at Riot, when I see a House of Miss Joaquim girl perform, they'll always perform one very, very popular, you know, pop number, very high energy pop number, and then they'll do a traditional number as well. And that's something that you do a lot. Is that something like you instill in them, that to always bring in something traditional?
Usually for their solo performance, I actually just let them do their thing. Like, you know, always, this is my advice to them, always show your best drag. Always put on a show where people remember you for, like, a lasting impression, you know. Cultural number is like, it always works, you know, it can never go wrong unless, you know, you don't really know about the culture, you didn't do your research or homework about the culture. But yeah, I think they did amazing. They put a lot of work into it and also they respect the song and
I think it really shows. I mean, that's a very, very distinct stamp of a House of Miss Joaquim girl, and you should be very proud.
Thank you. I feel so honored. Thank you. The girls, I'm very proud of the girls. Like, you know, with their achievement, like with Farrah being on Mr. World.
Oh yeah! Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we talked all about that in our interview, and that's one of the reasons why I brought her on first, because I was so excited when she got into the Mr. World pageant. And congratulations, Farrah, for getting into second runner-up. You did really amazing. Congratulations.
I mean, she's like the first drag queen, Farrah Shamrock, to join Mr. World. I think that's like really shaking up the whole.
No, that's
Mr.
definitely
World
something.
Stereotype.
Yeah.
It's not just about being masculine and that's it, you know.
And of course, you guys have your really amazing YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, you watched it?
Of course, I watch every episode.
Aww, thank you.
I watch them all except the mukbangs. I don't really. I feel a bit funny watching people eat on video. I have to say that. I've never really. I never really understood a mukbang.
I mean, it's the in thing, right? On YouTube, people doing
Yeah.
mukbang videos and whatnot. So
I tried watching a
girls-
few, but I don't understand. I don't understand mukbangs.
Yeah, so the girls are trying out, you know, just like trial and error. Like if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But also, congratulations on your YouTube channel. You already
thank
have like
you.
what, almost 800 subscribers now, right?
Yes. As of
Yeah.
as of filming right now, I have 799. I've been refreshing it like all day, trying to wait for 800. Yeah, so if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe.
Yes, please subscribe. Because you started this YouTube channel this year, isn't it?
Yes, I started in March from
Yes.
the lockdown. Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, it's growing like fast and people are watching it and commenting and yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I find it very rewarding because, as you said, you know, drag lets you try to use all your different
Explore.
talents. Yeah, explore and I've always really liked editing stuff and doing videos, and you know, for all my work and everything, I'm always the one who does the poster, does the video. So this actually is very rewarding.
Actually, I watched that episode that you talk about eczema because I've got eczema.
Yes,
and it really helps.
you said. Mm-hmm.
So thank you so much because that was very
thank you.
educational and yeah, and I actually screenshot the one that you actually suggested, like it's a injection thing, but it was expensive.
Yeah, very expensive, that one.
How much is it? Like how X?
Right now, what we're talking about now is dupilumab, and dupilumab is actually what we call a monoclonal antibody, and that actually costs about $1,500 a jab at the moment.
No way.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? So what does it do? Does it clear up the whole eczema thing or?
It acts on one of the cytokines, one of the small molecules that causes itch, that
Oh,
causes
right.
inflammation in your skin. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems to work for a number of people. Not everyone. It doesn't work for everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember like having eczema was a pain in the ass. I remember when I was younger, I was scratching my neck a lot, and I can't sweat. I need to be in cold places all the time.
And that's what you were saying, right? For Drag Race also, you didn't want to show your skin on the challenge where you had to show your skin because of that.
Correct. It was the cover and reveal runway, and I was like, no, I'm not comfortable. And even on the finale, episode 11, the White Elephant episode, during the music video that we have to do, we have to take off our top. We have to be like half naked, and I wasn't comfortable. Like I was telling Angeli to like just stand at the side to like give me some like moral support.
That's one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about skin conditions also, because I wanted to, demystify it and at the same time try to make it a bit lighthearted doing drag. It has got me in a bit of trouble sometimes.
Yeah. When I talk about eczema during the show, I have some people who reach out to me on my Instagram and say that they also have that condition, eczema, and they thought it was brave of me to actually speak about it on the show. And yeah, like I told them to moisturize, like you said in your video, like keep moisturizing and whatnot. And yeah, it's like my heart goes out to them because I know living with it it's really painful, and because you feel insecure about your skin, and like sometimes you want to wear shorts and like like a singlet, but you can't because you got all these marks. And yeah.
Would you consider yourself a full-time drag queen here now?
Well, we don't have live performances now, so I don't know whether I can say.
But I know before Drag Race you were you were a policeman. Were you? Was that right? Did I get it right?
It was national service. Yeah, I was in the police force. Yeah, But I was working in Lovisa back then. You know, the accessory shop. Yeah, for
Lovisa?
Yeah.
I buy a lot of my jewelry from there.
Yeah. So that was.
I go when there's sales, and then I buy everything for like $5, $10.
Yeah, I should have known you like much earlier because I got 70% off. That's why my accessories back then was like, yeah, I just stack everything up.
All Lovisa.
Yes. It's not sponsored, but yeah. I think they should sponsor me.
Yeah, they should have sponsored your drag
Because
ring.
I'm like a walking jewelry back then. So how do you come up with Victoria Wonder Snatch? I was actually wondering. Wonder Snatch is a very cool name.
Sometimes I look at it and oh my god, I'm stuck with this name because it's so campy. I wanted something very campy.
Yeah.
And also around the time I was picking a name, Benedict Cumberbatch was very famous. So I wanted a name that sounded like that. That sounded a bit like classy, but I wanted it to be a bit slutty and dirty as well. So Wonder Snatch was like perfect.
Yeah.
And of course Wonder Snatch sounds like some superhero, right? And that's what and that's what I thought drag is also. Drag is really my superhero persona. That I can do anything. I'm more powerful in drag.
I think Pejana mentioned this, you know, like when you're in drag, you feel like you're a superhero and you can do great things with it, so...
Yeah. That's why you had a superhero challenge, right? You're a Malayan superhero.
Oh my god.
I'll throw up a picture here.
Yeah. It was a tough episode to watch for me because I was really, really tired. But I was really happy that Jada was there.
We were talking about the YouTube channel, right? I had other questions also. So it seems like very, very well run, the way you all plan your videos and everything. It's because I'm very interested in how YouTube is done. So do you have like, pitch meetings or how do you plan your videos and stuff like that? Is it?
So yeah, we have so the crew for the slumber parties, the main person that's behind the cameras and whatnot, behind the editing is Anastasia. So she's the brains and the muscles behind Slumber Party, as well as she works closely with Farrah and Eriana to come up with like topics. And then I think now Dahlia is also part of the crew now. But I know Anastasia spends a lot of time editing the videos and to make sure the camera, the lighting is all perfect and whatnot. Sometimes I get very annoyed, but I think now I can understand how the girls feel because I'm like that too. So what do you think of the drag scene in Singapore?
Unfortunately, it's only, in the clubs, and I'm not really a huge club queen, but and also I feel very out of place in the clubs, and I find club drag very it's almost like out of my element. It's like if I tried to lip sync to a song, I think I would do very, very badly. But I think you guys do amazing, and you guys really blaze a trail for really amazing drag in Singapore. This is also one thing I wanted to bring up with you. For my channel, right, and I'm doing all these interviews, I really, really wanted to make it very inclusive and I wanted to make it more diverse. And I've actually reached out to several, before you said yes, I reached out to several Malay queens. And I found that, a lot of them are actually working. During this time of year, they're all working in the mornings, in the evenings and everything, and it sounds like they're really, really hustling. Yeah. Do you think there's some sort of disparity there? I want to bring this up because I feel like I'm in a position of privilege that I can, film on weekend mornings and it's very relaxed and everything. But a lot of the real queens in Singapore are actually struggling to make ends meet.
I can't say much for them because I don't really know them. Take for example, like for myself, I remember I had 3 jobs back then. Like I will work in Lovisa in the day, and then I have my second job like outside performance, and then my third job is in tantric. And just to pay the bills because I don't come from like a well-off family background. So I have to support myself, I have to support my mom, get my bills, and drag is expensive, right? You have to pay for your costumes, you have to pay for your makeups and whatnot. The other queens, I think somehow, like maybe they can relate to that as well.
Do you find there's a lot of racism in the LGBT and drag community in Singapore?
Racism in the community, I think it exists. I think it's still like I have friends who, you know, if they're brown skin, if they're Malay, if they're Indian, and then it's like, oh, I'm not into Indians, I'm not into Chinese. I'm only into Chinese. I'm not into Malay. I'm only into white guys. You know, there's still that happening, and it's sad. It's like 2020 already, and some people say, oh, it's just a preference. It's like, just get real with it lah. If you're racist, you're racist lah.
Even in America and UK, you know, as we were talking about earlier, Asian people. I mean, here, there's of course definitely racism within Asians itself, because Asians is, you know, so many different people, right? But then in America, it's like we're completely discounted. I mean, even recently, even with Crazy Rich Asians and everything, Asian comedians, Asian drag queens are still not taken as seriously as, you know, the white,
you know,
or even the black.
Funny you
ones.
say that. When I was performing in New York, the drag queen Jasmine Rice, she introduced me. I was from Singapore, the Crazy Rich Asian country. I'm like, no, girl. Not that rich.
At least,
just crazy.
At least we're known for something.
Yeah. not rich, but just crazy. So I was watching your videos, right? Can I say something? Like,
yes.
why you sound like serious all the time?
Oh no, that's why I'm trying to not do that so much. I think it just takes a while for me to be a bit more relaxed.
Yeah.
That's why I actually like doing all these interviews, because I find like when I'm talking to someone else, I do relax. But then when I'm speaking to myself, I find myself getting very serious. Yeah. And then something's very intense also on my face.
Yeah, you need to take a shot of something.
Yeah, maybe I need to
to fuck you out.
to drink something. Yeah. No, I think that's just my personality. I think I get quite serious and intense sometimes. So yeah, I've noticed that also.
I didn't really know you until you get into the scene in drag. So yeah, that was really something. Like your first appearance, I think it was Riot, right?
Yeah, I first appeared in Riot in 2015, and then I think in Tabs. Yes, in Tabs. Were you there?
I think so. Norris was performing, I remember.
Yes, Norris was performing. That was so fun. I really enjoyed that. And then of course the second time was when I met with you lah. You were in Hard Rock Cafe as well, right?
You were singing live. I remember.
Yeah.
I actually wanted to sing live for that as well. I was actually asking Becca whether it's allowed. But I think she was telling me something about the sound system is not that great.
Yeah, it's not. The sound system wasn't that great, and the mics were really bad.
I love when Queen starts to like do a live singing thing, because it's like not everyone can sing, right?
For me, that's what I want to do with my drag also. My drag, I like. What I really want to do is like cabaret, like New York cabaret, like a very intimate kind of storytelling and with songs and stuff like that. Yeah.
I think that's a great take.
I've never really been much of a club bar person, and that's why I also wanted to bring you guys onto this channel to talk about all that, because I can't talk about that.
You're one of the singing queens that I know in Singapore. I know Alnina, she's also a singing queen. She's one of the OG of drag queens in Singapore. I think she's more of a showgirl than a drag queen. She's like from the Boom 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 days. She used to perform with Kumar as well in Hard Rock Cafe.
You mentioned you sing live. So do you what kind of songs do you like to sing?
Like Amy Winehouse. That's always my go-to song.
Wait, have you sang live before? Actually, I don't think I've ever heard you sing.
Yeah.
In a club.
It was Drag Academy 2011. It was my finals, so I decided to sing because the rest were just lip syncing and dancing and whatnot. So my friend suggested Huzi Zulkifli, I don't know where you know him. He actually suggested, Izzy, I think you should sing. I'm like, oh my god, really? Yeah, you should sing. I'm like, okay. So I just did Amy Winehouse Back to Black.
Are there videos of this online?
Yeah.
Maybe we can link it.
I think.
Oh yeah, I'll look for it.
It was on Facebook somewhere. I need to find it. It was back in 2011.
I think earlier you also mentioned something about like toxic masculinity. Do you find that you still have to put up with a lot of that in Singapore?
Based on the experience, like I don't know whether you have been to FOC, Sentosa?
Yes.
For the party?
Yeah.
I mean, you can see that, right? Like, the masculine ones, all the muscles is like one click, you know? And then all the twinks is one click. And then the drag queens is in another area. Even like when I perform for that party, you can see like most of the guys there, like the muscle ones, they just don't pay attention. right?
They're all looking at each other, right?
Unless they have go-go dancers performing for the event, then yeah, they pay more attention to that. So I still feel that there's still this kind of like, you're masculine, and if you're a drag queen, you're not masculine enough, you're feminine and this and that. I think this mentality's got to go. It's very tiring already.
Yeah, that's also one reason I started this channel, because I think a lot of my friends are. And I did grow up in that kind of environment as well. I mean, I was very subscribing to all those ideals for a very long time. And I think after doing drag, it really opened my eyes to a lot of this inequalities and everything.
I personally feel that drag queens, we are much more masculine than the guys with muscles out there. Yeah.
I think it takes more balls to do this in front of everyone, right? Knowing that everyone's going to be judging you all the time.
But I mean, that's the ugly truth about it lah. What about you? What do you think about it?
I think in Singapore, people still think it's still a bit silly. I do get a lot of my friends also wondering why I'm doing this, you know, and you know, a lot of my partner's friends also, I don't think they understand exactly what I'm doing with drag and what drag actually means to me and what drag actually means to a lot of people.
And for you're considered as like the lean and the guy with the muscles and whatnot, right?
I really subscribe to that all this very toxic ideas of what a man should be for a very long time. You know, if I had let go of that a lot earlier, I would have done this 20 years ago.
Yeah.
It's not forever that my skin's gonna be good for drag, you know, pretty soon.
Wait, how old are you?
Me?
Oh,
don't I'm
okay.
Yeah.
Becca is so you're like 1 year a junior.
Yeah, well, she says that we're the same age, but I maintain that I'm 1 year younger.
Same age or same weight?
Oh no!
I love you, Beck. I love you, Becca. Don't hate me. I was actually thinking of you,
Me?
Farrah Shamrock, and there's this another drag queen called Laura Libido. He's also like a muscle queen.
Oh yes, I've seen her.
You guys should open up a house called House of Protein Shakes.
that's what Farrah keeps calling us. House of Protein Shakes. For a long time also, I thought because of my muscles and my height and my build, drag would be too difficult. I always thought you had to be pretty or skinny to do all the feminine illusion. But I think it's really after like Cameron Michaels that I was really inspired to pursue this properly.
That was what I was telling Farrah in the very beginning when she started drag. Like, she was very insecure because she got the muscles and she's always wearing long sleeve and to hide her guns. And I'm like, no, just embrace it.
Yeah, and also for me, I really like to go all out. I mean, I'm not going to be able to hide my height. So when I'm in drag, I like to be extra big. So I wear biggest heels, biggest hair. So I'm like this 8-foot gigantic monster of a woman.
I love it.
Yeah, and I love that. I really like that.
Drag is always all about like exaggeration, right? So yeah, go big or go home. I personally feel that it's very interesting, like, to see a lot of new drag queens coming out. Got a lot of different aesthetics lah. Like very versatile, very like they don't copy each other, which is one thing that I like. I see that more queens, the young ones are taking drag more seriously. So, well, people say that, you know, it's just drag, don't take it too seriously. But you know, they are you can see that they are very passionate about their craft.
Why don't you give a shout out to some queens not in the House of Miss Joaquim that you think we should be looking out for?
Like Sapphire Blast, I follow her on her Instagram, and she's been coming up with really fabulous couture gowns, and I know that she made like from scratch.
Wow.
I don't know whether you follow her.
Yep, I do.
Sapphire Blast.
I do. She made it from scratch. Wow. There's this other queen that I've been following. She doesn't post very regularly, but when she does, it's this big production. Opera Tang. Do you know her?
Opera Tang. Yeah. I've heard of her, but I don't really see her performing.
Yeah, she doesn't perform, but it looks like, well, she definitely probably has a day job also. So Opera Tang, please leave a comment down below if you see this. But she does all these big elaborate numbers and goes for photo shoots, and you know, she tries to make it a production every time she does post.
Love Opera Tang.
So yeah, I think Singapore, the drag scene is a bit fledgling at the moment. But one thing that I want to do, and I think it really resonates with me when you talk about what you want to do with your girls in the House of Miss Joaquim, is that I really want to help Singaporeans, I mean not help Singaporeans, but promote self-expression in Singaporeans. And because I got a lot of that when I was in America. And I think that Singapore
Yeah.
really needs a vibrant scene where they can express yourself any way you want. And if it's
Yeah.
through drag or through, storytelling or anything else.
Yeah, I think that it happened already in Singapore, like back in Boogie Street and in Boom Boom Room days. Like there are more exposure, more platforms for drag queen, like trans people to come out and perform on stage. But I don't know, somehow it just like they took it away.
Yeah,
Like,
it kind of
there
like
was
went away,
censorship and
right?
whatnot.
It's the right time for it to come back.
Yeah, to bring it back, I always have this dream because I was in Vancouver and I watched this charity show. I know you've done charity shows before.
Uh-huh.
You organized a charity show. Yeah, it was a charity show in Celebrities Nightclub in Davis Street. They had all different generation of drag queens. Like I think the oldest was like 60 plus to the youngest drag queen, and just doing it for charity. And I thought it was amazing. And I'm like, oh my god, if Singapore were to do this, is wow.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a bit like Pink Dot, right? Where they got all of you to go and perform. You think?
Yeah, but I mean, Pink Dot, like, yeah, they have a proper stage. It's just that, like, people always, like, can't really see, like, the full eleganza, fabulous things that's going on stage. Like, I'm talking about, like, Capitol Theatre. People can actually watch, like, a proper drag show like that.
Yeah, okay. Stop putting ideas in my head. I think that's a great idea. I mean, for my shows, so far, the first one is only me because I was really trying to figure out how to do it. The second one, I did get Becca to come for a guest spot. I think definitely in the future when I do these, I'm going to bring more people on as soon as I, learn the ropes of trying to get these things to work. Yeah.
Actually, I suggested to Ivan Hing as well. Like, maybe he should do, like, a musical number about Boogie Street. I don't know, have you watched that movie before?
Yeah, definitely. A musical Boogie Street, or even, do something else. One thing that I really want to do is, I want to do Chicago, but all gender flipped.
Oh my god.
All gender flipped.
Please cast me.
Yeah, who
I love Chicago.
Who do you want to be?
Spread Eagle.
Spread Eagle.
What's the character?
Velma Kelly.
What's the name? Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you can be Velma Kelly, I'll be Roxy Hart.
Okay, let's do that.
Set.
Deal.
and then Becca can be Mama Morton.
Yes! I live for that.
And then we find a drag king to play the lawyer guy, the Billy Flynn character.
Yeah. Oh my god, that'd be so much fun. That'll be so much fun.
Are you almost done?
Okay, it's here. I'm doing my lips, outer lips, I'm doing lashes, and I'm gonna put on some details on my face. But I'm trying to be experimental, so I go to Daiso.
Oh yeah, everything on me is that from Daiso, isn't it?
Yeah. You're cheap queens. But beautiful.
Yeah, that's what drag is, right? You got to make beauty out of cheap stuff. Oh, so after Drag Race, you did a lot of shows in Bangkok, right?
To be honest, I actually prefer the crowd over in Bangkok.
Why?
In Singapore. They are much more, like, they appreciate drag shows better than here. At here, if it's Riot, then yeah, I love Riot crowd. But other places, not really. Like, FOC was pretty okay. Like, people sometimes watch, people don't. Unless you fall into the pool and then people, like, start screaming. Yeah, they don't really take your drag performance seriously much here. Except for Riot.
Yeah, in Riot is good because people are there to watch drag queens, right? Whereas FOC, they're there to look at hot boys, so they don't
Exactly. Who wants to watch a drag show, right? But I love, like, one thing about that, like, the organizers for FOC, they're really accepting and they love drag queens as well. So that's why, like, they fly in queens from Bangkok and Bali, Indonesia. So yeah.
In that episode where you went to Bangkok, you said that you were almost robbed of your phone, and someone offered you money or something like that. I'm sure that happens more in Bangkok than in Singapore.
It wasn't really robbed. I remember I was at the bar and I was in drag and they thought I was a lady boy and they asked me how much, and I thought that was very insulting.
Yeah.
They don't meant it in a joking way. They meant it is like an insult. Like, oh, there's a lady boy. Like, for me, you can call me like a drag queen and stuff like that. But if you were to call me lady boy and
Was it a foreigner or was it a local person?
Yeah, it's a foreigner.
Oh yeah, okay then.
Actually, so like I said, you know, like even if I were to go to the clubs as easy as my normal boy self, the foreigners like in the clubs have this thinking that, oh, he's a lady boy, or he's a money boy, you know. I'm like, what's wrong with you guys?
Just because you're femme presenting
Asian. Just Asian.
Just Asian? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Some of them have this mentality coming to Bangkok and then you can get the massage boy, the money boy, you know, just pay them and yeah, you get your service. But not everyone is like that. And even if I do, like you still have to treat people with respect, right? Like how Angela as well got attacked by a homophobic guy in the club that she performed at. Everyone was like putting his picture on social media using derogatory. Yeah, there you go. Yes, term on her. Yeah, and I think he got aggressive as well, like physical. I mean, just because you come to a country that accepts trans, like, you know, doesn't mean you can take advantage of them and insult them.
Yeah, I think trans people are really need our protection and really need our support. On that note, I think we're just going to get into our final looks and we'll be right back. Okay, Vanda?
Yes, Victoria Wonder Snatch.
Alright, we'll see you in a bit.
See you!
And these are finished looks. And mine is a ho 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 in this house, ho 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 in this house.
And I'm a Daiso ho ho ho, Daiso ho ho ho. Welcome to Daiso.
Thank you so much, Vanda, for coming on my channel. I hope you had fun today. I had a great time talking to you.
Yes, me too. Thank you for having me.
Yes, and you look amazing. You're all covered in Christmas ornaments. Me too. I make Christmas ornament earrings, and I've got a Christmas tree, Cardi B hair on now.
The Cardi B hair. Yes, girl. Yes. Work those nails. Those nails.
Vanda, why don't you tell everyone where they can find you?
Follow me on Instagram, Vanda Miss Joaquim, and also do not forget to watch our slumber party on House of Miss Joaquim YouTube channel. New episodes every Monday and Thursday.
Yes, I'll link that all down below in the description. And thank you again so much. And if you like this video, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and ring that bell for post notifications. Alright, Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas to you too, Victoria Wonder Snatch!
Okay, bye Vanda!
Bye!
Right, I was actually going to film this with Vanda, but I actually forgot because I was so excited. But we were supposed to announce the winner of the Coloured Raine palette giveaway. So I'm just going to do it here. I'm just going to do it on my computer now, and I'm going to press screen record. Okay, and we're going to see who wins. Spinning, 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 spinning. Oh, congratulations, Trisha Bulanos. All right. I'll get in touch with you through DMs or something. Watch my other interviews. I interviewed Ashley 50 there and Aria Dunn right there. Merry Christmas!